Yo, yo, yo. Hey, I've been getting asked the question a lot lately, what's happening in the market? And I tend to get this question more often when there's big changes in the market. So I thought it's a perfect time to provide you with a market update. Hey, I'm Mark Buckner with the Mark Buckner Group at Compass Realty. And on this channel, I talk about Chicago buying, selling, investing, and maintaining real estate in the Chicagoland market. All right, so let's get into the market and the trends that I'm seeing right now. That's the dog. And the first trend that the dog's heard about is a decrease in inventory, a housing shortage. And we're seeing this nationally. But in Chicago, we're probably going to see about 35% less real estate trade this year than we've seen in the last 5 years, right? And the only way that can happen is less real estate's trading. What's interesting is we're starting to see that real estate is starting to appreciate more at normal levels. And this is a national chart that I'm going to show you here. But over the last 49 years, take that data, compare it to 2023, and for the most part, the appreciation is getting back to normal. At the Chicago level, appreciation is about 0.4% for 2023. But what's interesting, the other thing you can take from this is that during the warmer months, appreciation tends to go up. Cooler months, appreciation tends to go down. So if you are trying to time the market, the best time for a seller is during the warmer months, right? Spring market. And the best time for a buyer is the cooler months when there's less buyers out there and there's less depreciation. So you'll get a better deal. All right, the second trend is the increase in interest rates, which you've likely heard about. But how are we navigating that? Many people would think like, oh my God, the rates are so high, who's buying? But according to the National Housing Trend and their research, it shows that more people are planning to buy in the next 12 months than we've seen recently, and that trend continues to go up. We've seen some spikes and some valleys in it, but overall the trend is going up. The other question that I get asked about interest rates is how do I track them? So of course you can call your lender, happy to connect you with my preferred lender, but you could also take a look at this link in the bio here of monitoring the 10-year US Treasury yields. If you take a look at that and the percentage they have, add 3 points to it, that's going to put you about the 30-year fix of what lenders are offering at the time if you have a credit score of 700 or better. Right now, today, this morning, on November 13th, rates were about 7.6%. So, as a result of decreased inventory, increased interest rates, we are seeing an affordability housing crisis, right? And so what I'm seeing in response to that is some buyers are focusing on a multi-generational home. What does that look like? Well, that's like a 2 to 4 unit building. To be honest with you, my grandparents always owned a 2-flat. Any given day, they were living in the lower level, a family member on the first, and on the second level, they rented out. So they always had rental income, and a family member always had a place. The benefits is the same thing the research is showing. That is free babysitting or free pet care, right? That's one of the reasons why I think my aunt lived with my grandmother on the first floor. My grandparents helped raise my 2 cousins, right? It was a win-win for them and for my aunt and my uncle. It's actually an idea I've been pitching to my wife. We have a senior in high school, our youngest. She's going off to college next year. I'm like, why don't we downsize, get a 2-flat, take over 2 floors, rent out the 3rd level, Airbnb it, and then when the kids do come home, they got a place to stay, they have their private space, or if they move back, they can live there. You know, it's a win-win. I'm not sure where we'll land on that. My wife's not too into it so far. The fourth trend that I'm seeing is I'm seeing in a very micro level values either going up or down and sometimes bigger peaks or valleys depending where is it at. So in Andersonville, I just priced out 2 different homes for 2 different buyers in the luxury market. Neither one could I find comps really to support it. But if I go back 18 months, I could. An appraiser can go, typically it's going to go about a mile radius, and they're going to only go back 6 to 12 months. They can't expand that if there's no comps. But if there's comps, they're not. And for that same reason, in Andersonville, in the luxury market, I saw values going down. Roscoe Village, see the complete opposite. Values are climbing and climbing strong in the luxury market because enough real estate continues to trade at that price point right now. In summary, what can you take from all this data? One is I think interest rates are going to stay right high. They're definitely going to be well above 5%. If you take a look at the past 5 decades, the average rate was about 7%, which is where we've been sitting on and off for the last 12 months. And I don't see that changing drastically that much. Maybe it'll go down at the Q4 this year, but not a big hit. The other appreciation is going to continue, but at normal levels. So if you find the right property and you're looking, then buy it. It's hard to find the right property. It's hard to time that. That's the way I buy real estate as an investor and as for my primary residencies. The last thing that I think you can take from that is that the data shows the gap between homeowners and renters continues to get wider. So the longer you wait to own, the longer you're putting off helping grow your net worth. You have more questions about this stuff, give me a buzz. I love talking real estate. I geek out on all of it. If you like what I'm talking about here, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button so you're notified every time I'm doing a post. And give me a call. Love to chat.